Hi guys, welcome back to Me and Him. So today's topic, it's a bit more of a deeper topic. And we're talking about community and what community is and what it means to us and all the bits and bobs of community.
There we go, yeah.
We forgot something to drink.
Oh, we don't have anything to drink, guy. You feel so like empty-handed because you want something to like play with, right? Okay, we don't really have to have something to drink, although a cup of coffee would have been nice.
It would be nice.
Should we go make one quickly now? I want one.
We'll
be back. And we're back with our coffee. So now life feels normal again. Yeah, I think I'm just over caffeinated, to be honest. So yeah, community, and we can have
community can be coffee. I'm just kidding.
100% it can be though. Like how many people have coffees together, or go out for coffee, or let's catch up with a cup of coffee?
Yeah, but that's friends having coffee together. I was saying calling my coffee is my community.
But it can be. It's the community for my emotions. You know, there's moments where I think that I'm like a terrible friend.
I think everyone can be like that because I get that too.
Yeah, it's like I know now that there's a friend that I need to get a hold of, and I'm like, where am I going to fit the time today, or how am I going to do it? And I'm like, why does it become that? And I saw an interview. You remember I showed you the School of Hard Knocks, that guy that I showed you now talking to billionaires. And on his podcast, he's now launched a podcast that also talks about the lessons that he's learned from interviewing people all over the world. There was one that really stood out to me, man. I was like, it pulled at my heartstrings because I wanted to be that. Like I want to be, and what he said is he's like, oh, I have some billionaire as a contact. I'm like, okay, cool, you're in nice circles. And he's like, I guarantee you if I phone him, he'll answer.
Sure.
And he's like, okay, let's test it. So he tests it, puts it in, and he waits, and it rings probably 3 times, and the guy answers. One of the lessons that he's learned is that no matter who you are, what status you are, you should always be available. Be available to the people around you, be available to friends. And I'm like, man, I fall into that trap and being like, sometimes I get there, and I think we all do, see the phone ringing and I see the name and I'm like, I know this is going to be a 20-minute conversation. I'm not going to do it right now.
Yeah.
And unless I am genuinely busy because of the work that I do, I have clients that I have to see for sessions, and that's like an hour at a time, then yes, obviously I can't. But if I am available, be available.
I'm pretty good. Like if someone phones me, I will answer the phone. But it's to actually reach out and message that friend. I struggle sometimes because I can get distracted very easily with my ADHD, and like I'll think, oh, I need to message that friend and be like, oh, how are you guys, like, you know, how's life going? But then something will pop up and I'm like, oh, I need to go do that. Before I've messaged them, I've forgotten.
Yeah, I fall into the same trap.
So that's where I struggle and I've been trying to get into the routine of when I think of messaging that friend, I go and do it immediately.
I need to do that. I need to be better at that. There was a point last year which did work, right? And it sounds so insane to a degree because it shouldn't be that. But I guess it's the efforts that we get into. I decided to schedule times of like reaching out to people, and because my work is on my phone and I have a bunch of different people reaching out to me all the time, I just leave people on, like I haven't read it. But I'm just like, oh, I'll worry about it.
You leave them on delivered.
And then I'm like, it's been delivered. I'm like, I've been sitting on this message now for like 5 days. And that's terrible.
Yeah.
People mean more to me than that. And I'm like, and obviously there's certain people, like I have like really close friends that I will then cheat like straight away. But it's like clients and things that I'm like, you know what, if I've got a moment, yeah, it is understandable. I've got to have boundaries. I'm not saying that everybody should have access to you all the time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think that becomes unhealthy. But you've got to really know within the core of you and your heart, like how available are you? So I'm trying to figure out what it means for me to be a better friend and how to grow community because it's important.
I know we both are the same in that we struggle to make friends. I'm a massive introvert. Or, okay, I suppose I'm actually an ambivert because with the friends that I know, I can be completely out there and joking and be the center of attention. No, I'm actually not never the center of attention. but I can be joking with them. And there's moments where just at the end of the day, my social battery is drained. And even though I'm with my closest friends, I actually just sit there quietly because that's all I feel like doing. But it's that meeting of new people that I struggle with, like having to understand what should I talk about, especially in group settings. Like, I don't want to be the big one out there being like, hey, look at me, this is what I've got to say. So I think in those settings, I'm definitely the introvert. But whereas like one-on-one, like you and I together, sometimes you can't get me to shut up.
Yeah, I got to throw you over my shoulder and like shake you a little bit or something.
Or
No,
do
it's not
some
that bad.
random jiu-jitsu move on me or something like that.
It's not so bad. And I think, look, everybody has that who you're comfortable with. It's going to be, I mean, obviously going to gravitate towards them. Because I think it's something that we speak about in church. Do I say, yeah, I'll say this. I think sometimes, you know, like churches can be very cliquey. And there's elements within that I look at them like, why does that happen? And I think it's just because like-minded people are drawn to like-minded people, even within the church, and who you're comfortable with. You're just going to gravitate towards people who think like you, who walk like you, who do the same things as you. And then you have your Bible studies, connect groups, whatever you may call it in your context. And then it's, yeah, let's gravitate to them. And it becomes difficult then to draw people in. And, you know, I've even heard certain parts where some connect groups and Bible studies say to each other like, oh no, ours is full. And I'm like, you should be, yeah, you should be open to that. And yeah, it's something that I'm like, okay, what does it mean then to draw? And I'm by no means the most perfect Christian in drawing people in.
Neither of us.
Yeah, but it's that I want to start cultivating. I think people matter. You know, I heard a very interesting sermon by Xavier that went through the book of Numbers, and it's not the most exciting book. It's not the most exciting book,
but it's the worst one to read.
But his whole premise was, we count people because people count. So what am I getting to? I don't really know yet. I think it'll be something that we flesh out as we talk. But what does community actually mean to you?
I see community as my family, like, and they're not just blood related. It's the group that I will go to when we need prayer, when we need advice, when we need a space for people to just love and find joy in, and like everything that brings meaning to life. That is what community is to me. They're the ones that, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, let's go for a coffee, you know, and do multiple coffees with them. And it'll be like a coffee where, yes, you don't see each other all the time, but it ends up being like one of those long catch-up coffees. Our connect group, I call my family because that's what they are to me. And I get excited to see them every week and be like, oh, what are we going to talk about this week? And catching up and all of that with them. Like, I'm so excited. So we're going camping next week with our connect group. And I cannot wait because it's just, one, it's getting out and having a break. But two, it's with the people that mean a lot to us. And yes, not everyone is going to be there, but it's still something I'm looking forward to. And yes, of course, I'm going to take my books.
I think community are people who encourage you, you know. It's people who have got your back. Like you say, it's family. And for some people, family is, you know, that's a difficult word, because sometimes the people that are meant to have your back, like your blood family, can sometimes not.
Yeah.
And that becomes a challenge and a struggle. But then you have community, which is above and beyond that. And I think blood relatives, obviously, super important. Having a close-knit family is your community. That's your people. That's your tribe. And that can be difficult for some people. I don't take away from that at all. But then you have your community of friends. You have your community of brothers. I think that's also one thing that I encourage you to do. Just go have your girl time.
Girl time.
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, go get your girl time, and I've got to go do my man time and go do those different things for us to be filled to come and be the better versions of ourselves for one another.
While he's researching, I can definitely agree on that. Having the guy time and having girl time. Like the other night, it was about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. There were 3 of us ladies that we try to do things together, dates, whether it's going for cocktails or coffee or something. When the 3 of us get together, we say, okay, no, it's going to be like an hour-long thing. And it was so special, this one, because we did finger foods. So all 3 of us did different finger foods, and then we got together. So we got there by 6 o'clock, and we probably left our friend's house at like 10:30 that night. And I find that so special with when I have girl time. It never ends up being just a small little thing, because we just end up having just so much fun together.
We are a generation of people, because of these things, that can be connected really quickly, but at the same sense, it disconnects you from the world around you. And you see that, and many people have spoken about it. And I think there was probably going to be a shift where people don't sit on their phones as much.
But like, look how in COVID, even though we had that, so many people were lonely.
Oh, yeah.
It's the loneliest the world has ever been.
It's the loneliest that I've ever felt. I was in Singapore and I was in a flat alone and couldn't go anywhere.
Despite having all this technology to connect us, we're still...
Saving grace was actually an Xbox. Because I could go to Xbox Live and play games. There was a distraction and I could speak to my friends every day. Even though I wasn't with them. And there is something about being physically present with people.
I was fortunate that I was here with my family. And because my family owned the coffee roastery, we had... Also in South Africa, it was strict, but nowhere near as strict as some countries overseas. It was mild. But in those first few weeks of our lockdown, we got the permission as a company that we were considered like important.
Yeah, you were essential service.
We were an essential service. So I would randomly go for drives with my parents when they needed to do a coffee delivery, because I was like, I want to get out. So I would go and just hitch a ride with my parents just so I could get out and just be out and about. And I think for me, I was really grateful for that.
COVID got me to start running.
Well done.
Because we were allowed to do physical exercise. And it was the only way that I could get out of my flat that I wouldn't get in trouble for. So I would run like 5 to 10 Ks a day. I was pretty fit, but then I started messing up my knees. So, yeah.
Well, that's why we gym now. So.
Yeah, exactly. But it was good fun, being able to get out. And what a weird time of the world. What a weird time.
Different.
But yeah, so that loneliness, I think it's something that's important. So it's so interesting. I was just looking at my Bible app right now, just wanting to get some scriptures. And the verse for the day is, there are friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother.
Oh, I
and
actually
that's what
saw
we were
that
talking
this
about.
morning.
Yeah. And that's kind of interesting. That's what we're talking about today. And like, who are your real friends that stick closer to your brother? I have a few. I've got a friend of mine, he lives in Belgium. He sticks closer than brother. That guy, I've told him many times that I wholeheartedly believe he saved my life in many ways, because I was severely depressed, and they were people that, him and his wife, miracle makers, and he to me is like a brother.
That's special.
Yeah, and I had another friend which I'm like also deeply hurt by, also from Singapore, that like we've just kind of drifted apart. Try to reach out, and that happens too. And you go through moments of grieving those things. But yeah, I just find that quite interesting. And then getting back to another verse is from Hebrews 10:24-25. Then let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching.
Sure. That's a good one.
I think there's, in reading that scripture now that I just read, we have to be aware of how you're spurring and encouraging people. The world is a place where you might feel discouraged a lot, and I think a lot of that's actually in your head. But you need people that can be like, hey, I'm in your corner, like, keep going, I believe in you, you can do this, the season isn't going to last forever type of situation.
And that's what community is, people that support you and not hold your back up, but back you up, I suppose. They're always behind you, supporting you, and they don't leave you necessarily.
Yeah, they don't. And if they leave you, there's seasons for different communities.
There's a season and a reason. A reason and a season.
Either way.
Either way.
It still fits. Yeah, I like that there's there are people that are in your corner. And I look at Band of Brothers, which is a movie that not a movie, series that shows what a community of guys can get through.
Absolutely. So there's community. But guess what next week is? The 8th of March.
F1. We're going to be talking about that, so looking forward to that.
The opening of the season.
I know, I'm excited. That's why I'm like, we're going camping over F1 weekend.
Yeah, that's the one sad thing. So we are making a mission to find somewhere that has signal so that we can watch the race on Sunday morning.
And then we're speaking about that. So if you're into F1, stay tuned.
And see what happens.
That's fun.
But see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.